Hello there. Well, this'll have the usual suspects in a right old tailspin, won't it? Israel has just taken out an Iranian nuclear reactor near the city of Arak, about 200 kilometers southwest of Tehran. Cue screams of imminent nuclear reactor runaway meltdown and war crimes. Wonder if they'll fit the word genocide in there as well somewhere. When in fact, as far as I can make out, this was a reactor under construction, with one of its design aims being to produce plutonium. You know, the stuff that makes nuclear weapons. So it does seem like a bit of a legitimate hit to me by Israel while it's trying to take out Iran's capability of creating nuclear weapons. And now it's just a matter of time before Trump turns up with the MOPS, the massive ordnance penetrators, to clear out the uranium enrichment bunkers. He's okayed the plan. All it will now take is the Trump thumbs up. So what do you reckon, Richard?
Yes, I was just reading earlier about surrounding Arab states very, very worried about the potential fallout from attacking nuclear reactors in Iran. I mean, it is a legitimate concern, let's face it. But at the end of the day, we're in a very dire situation. What was supposed to happen? Is Israel supposed to sit back and wait for Iran to nuke Israel? Is that what's supposed to happen? And not just that, ladies and gentlemen, you must remember that Iran actually does have warheads capable of reaching Europe, capable of reaching us here in the UK. So if they have a nuclear warhead, guess what? Guess what? That could be us as well. But it almost seems like we're sort of outsourcing our guilt to Israel for them to deal with the situation. And that's why when I'm looking at Keir Starmer's response, it's all be careful, careful, careful. Don't upset. I mean, look at the people he's got to appease. He's got basically a party of anti-Semites there to appease. So he has got to remain as neutral as possible. Yeah, okay. And before anybody else starts saying, oh, Israel, comment here, Israel are not victims here. Okay, well, I can tell you something. As somebody who knows from personal experience and family experience of how Iranians perceive Israel, I can tell you now, there's a lot of people in Iran now cheering on Israel because they know in Iran, they know that the average person on the street knows that what's going on with Gaza and with Israel is a proxy war. It's a proxy war between Iran and Israel. There is no other way of looking and say, oh, yes, Israel bombed this, Israel did that. It's like, look at the situation. Yes, missiles were launched from Gaza towards Israel, from hospitals and schools and UN buildings. Very suspicious, that incidentally. And what is Israel going to do? They know, the Hamas know that the Israelis are going to fire back at point of origin. And then, I mean, then they've got their collateral. Yes, that's it. You know, the photos and the image of those who have died hideously, incidentally. There's no taking that away. There are innocent people who have died in Gaza. There's no taking that away. But at the same time, you need to understand that this is what Iran wants. That's why, if you're going to say they just attacked a hospital by accident. Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Jeff.
Yeah, and comments like this, cheering for the end, are we fools? No, we're cheering for the stop of the end. If those Iranians ever got hold, that Iranian regime ever got hold of those weapons, it would just flare up. They'd use them. They would use them. That's what they've said. They have an avowed aim to end Israel. They've even got a doomsday clock to the year 2040, to when by then Israel will be ended by them. They've got that. They openly say it. And and also they call us the little Satan, or one of the little Satans that must be bombed into oblivion, and the great Satan, the US. So all they would have to do is fire one at us. That's all they'd have to do. So no, we should be supporting the US on this to prevent a greater, absolutely outrageous event being caused by the Iranian regime.
Yeah, this is what annoys me when I read a lot of these comments, coming through about, oh, you're a stooge for Israel. No, I'm half Iranian. I've got family. I've got skin in the game. I've got members of my own family who have been hung in Iran for being gay. Right? I know what goes on there. All right. I've got family right now who are potentially being bombed in Tehran right now and in Natanz. Okay, in those areas. So sorry, and Isfahan. So when you say, oh, right, okay, oh, you're just a stooge for Israel, get a brain. Please, get a brain. Understand the situation.
Yeah.
Go and take a look at my Stealthy Freedom on Facebook, where you have women who have sacrificed so much fighting for the right to be able to just express themselves, take the head coverings off.
Yeah.
Just look at those women and what happens to them when they do take their face coverings off. These are the brave people, not keyboard warriors just standing there saying, oh, Israel, Israel, Israel. You don't know anything about Israel, clearly. You don't. Sorry.
Yeah, Israel attacks. So Michael Gardner's another one. Israel attacks everyone in the area, but Iran might have nukes. Well, I'm afraid to say Iran has been paying everyone in the area to fire missiles and throw bombs and all the rest of it. And I hark back to something people have forgotten about. Did you know that those people who sacrificed themselves for Gaza or for Hamas, their families used to get payoffs by Hamas for doing it to encourage more? No, they're nasty people. They are nasty people.
Yeah, but Jeff,
we should
some
be
people actually
praying for them to be got rid of.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but a lot of people believe that Hamas are actual freedom fighters fighting against this oppressive, genocidal Israel. I mean, unless come on now. I know we're going to lose loads of subscribers. I don't care because if you don't tell people the truth, it doesn't matter. What are we doing otherwise?
Yeah.
No, sorry. So many people in the Middle East know what's going on. Why do you think the Rafah crossing is there between Egypt and Gaza? Why do you think that's there? And why do you think it's blocked by Egypt? Strange. Why is it then quite recently you had the virtue signaling social justice warriors who went out to Gaza from Europe, and there they were sitting in and protesting and asked to be allowed through, and the Egyptians are like, no, they were dragging them away. You don't know what you're talking about. If there was ever a case of white privilege, okay, then the white privilege has got a little bit of stupidity attached to it, I'm afraid to say. Because if white privilege says that you know exactly what's going on in Israel and in Gaza just because you read it in the Guardian or heard it from the BBC or from the Independent, well, sorry, not very bright there.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, because the people who are having a go at at Israel are the ones that probably are sucking up everything that the BBC says, because that's what the BBC says. They're sucking it up. Like, oh, I got to believe that.
Yes.
When if it says something that goes against their beliefs, they oh, you can't believe that. No, it's I'm sorry to say that you only have to actually take 5 minutes at looking at what's going on over there to realize that the Israelis are fighting for their existence.
Yes.
If they gave up fighting, they would be slaughtered tomorrow. Totally. And the people who are commenting like this would be there dancing on their graves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I discard them anyway. Anyway. Yes. Anyway, yeah, look at all this. I mean, comments like this. Oh, not that one. But the left are not concerned about any nuclear fallout on Gaza if Israel took a hit. Yeah, no, actually,
Absolutely
that's
spot on.
a very good
Yeah.
point. They wouldn't
Absolutely
care.
spot on.
In fact, I get the impression that as long as Israel gets wiped out in any form or shape, it doesn't matter about anything else.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting. This whole from the river to the sea thing, that just tells the whole story. And how many times has Hamas been offered a two-state solution? The Israelis have given up offering them a two-state solution because Hamas doesn't want peace. And if you haven't grasped that, go and look at I think it was about 10 years ago, they came out with this grand statement. Yeah. And that was based on the Muslim Brotherhood Charter, which says basically eliminate Jews from the world.
Yes.
Hamas was born from that. That's all you need to know. And all this stories about, oh, Zionism runs the world. I love it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we're having a bit of a go at people. We're trying to clear people out.
No, this is what you call a proper discussion. This is, and sometimes
Yeah.
if you're going to do something, you have to make some. You have to enter into some uncomfortable conversations. And
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to those people who think that they still believe that Israel is the aggressor here. That's the point here. Okay, Israel is surrounded and then they mention, oh, you know, Israel's an invading parasite. That's the terminology these people use, and it's absolutely disgusting, because you have to realize how many other countries at the end of World War II were formed. You think it was just Israel and people were just displaced then? Do you? Oh, okay. Well, what about the millions of people? I think it was around 15 million. I might be wrong there. 15 million people displaced when Pakistan and India went their separate ways. It became two separate nations. Oh, okay. What about the 700,000, I believe it was 700,000 Afghanistan who've just been ejected from Pakistan? Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. But, oh, it's Israel. Oh, Zionists controlling the world. Here we go. Honestly.
The other thing that people don't realize out there, or they ignore, is that the British mandate, from which a part of it was used to create Israel, yeah, there was another country also formed at exactly the same time.
Yep.
The modern country of Jordan was formed at exactly the same time under the same sort of mechanism. Is that a rogue state? Is that going to be eliminated as well? Is that to be, Anyway, this from Fat Tony. Thank you very much for your contribution. Iranian Dark Ages mentality in possession of 21st century weapons. What could possibly go wrong? Exactly.
Well, hang on. I will say here, no, I disagree, and I agree. I agree and disagree. I agree when you say Iranian Dark Ages mentality, but for the regime only. You have to realize that the country of Iran is a phenomenal country. You probably heard Tommy Robinson talking about it recently. The Iranian people, I'm not just saying because I'm half Iranian, but I can tell you now, it's a very, very different country. It stands out in the Middle East. The culture, I mean, good grief, you will not find a country so obsessed with poetry, for instance, than Iran, and incredibly sophisticated in so many ways. But yes, it has been under the occupation of a Dark Ages regime.
Yeah. That's why I keep on talking about the regime. It's not the Iranian people. Most of the Iranian people detest that regime. So when the Ayatollah stands up and says, "We will fight them on the beaches," you get, what he's been saying, the sort of thing he's been saying. The people aren't going to be there to do that unless his IRGC are behind them with machine guns, like the Russians. I'm
just going to see if I can find something a second, Jeff. I need to find something here.
Yeah, you do that. And Maz6616 says the price of oil has started to go up, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. I'm not so sure about that. Did you also know that today the Bursa was bombed by Iran? That's the Israeli stock market, basically.
Yes.
Was bombed. And everyone thought, oh, that's the end. The end is nigh. No, the stock market rose.
Well, I've got to read this out.
Iran bombed the stock market on purpose to make the Israeli stock market go up.
And it went up. I know.
No, you see, these things don't all add up to just money.
Oh, no. So I've got to read this out. This is from the Facebook page, My Stealthy Freedom, about these, which is for these brave Iranian women who have faced death, just to be able to stand against this regime that so many people in the comment section seem to think should exist and has a right to exist. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to crack on anyway. It says here, to all anti-war activists in the West, there's only one path to end this war. End the war-mongering regime in Iran. This is a regime that blinds women for protesting, like Kosa Mercer, I can't pronounce half these things. I haven't got my glasses anyway, and countless others. Ours, young women like 16-year-old Nikia Shakarami for demanding freedom. Gases, school young ladies for daring to show their hair. Gasses them. Okay. Huh. Executes men for chanting freedom. Assassinates people like me abroad for tries to assassinate people like me for exposing the truth abroad. If you are not calling for an end to this, then let's be honest, you're not anti-war. You're anti-Iranian people. Because the people of Iran are fighting this regime with empty hands and full hearts, risking everything for a future free of tyranny. So that's why I read the other day that I think it's 70 to 80% of Iranians abroad support Israel right now. Can you believe that? Even though they know that their own family members are going to get hurt. My own family members included. But what life do they have there? What life? And this is a country that is causing so much chaos throughout the Middle East and thus right across the world, threatening Israel with nuclear weapons. But next door, don't be so stupid thinking that they're not going to be looking at attacking European cities as well. Once those nukes are there, ready, they will be attacking. So I'm sorry, this is what they want. This is their end time scenario, which they're trying to bring about. Learn.
Yep. Yeah, and here's another one. You really need to reevaluate captured by the narrative. No, we're not captured by a narrative. We do a lot of research. Other people are captured by a face-on narrative they see something on Twitter, they believe it. If someone comes up and says the Israelis did this, they believe it. Just believe it without doing any research at all. And half the time, more than half the time, most of the time, you find out that it's Hamas machine gunning the people trying to get free food.
Oh, yes.
They're the ones doing it.
Yes.
And the Israelis, when they try to shoot at the people who are shooting at the innocent people, they're the ones who are charged with shooting. No. You don't get me on that one. Don't just believe any old thing. And all this talk about bombing all the hospitals and schools, everything had infrastructure on it hidden underneath. Anyway.
Absolutely. No.
Anyway.
I've seen a lot of comments on here, which I was expecting as well. Zionists, all the same. I think that word Zionist, it's overly used and it's misunderstood.
Yes.
Massively misunderstood. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Zionism in terms of believing that Israel has a right to exist? Or are you talking about the Zionism that believes in a great Israel, which borders would include parts of Egypt and would include parts of Syria, Lebanon, etc., moving across possibly into Iraq? Is that what you're talking? Or are you talking about the conspiracy theory that Zionists are trying to control the world? There are some very, very, very powerful and rich Jews. Indeed. But there's also some very, very powerful people who claim to be Jewish that are recognized as being Zionists who are not actually Jewish. Now, that's a very interesting point. People don't understand that as well. The Jews get the fingers pointed at them all the time. But when it comes to like genuine manipulation, like what's happening from the regime in Iran, people remain silent. Oh, they're fine with that. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, and when you're talking about things like, this war is forcing up the price of oil, whose oil? It's going to be not just American oil. It's going to be oil producers across the planet. And where is a lot of that? It's not in Britain. We don't do it anymore. Well, actually, we do, since Ed Miliband's done a massive U-turn this morning.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But that's something separate, which we'll mention some other time. But yeah. So I disregard all of that. This is the sort of thing that we've been looking at, though, this morning from the nuclear reactor and the area as they go in and try and take out the heavy water production, the plutonium manufacturing of this particular site. The fewer nuclear weapons we have around the world, the better.
Yes.
But at the end of the day,
Jeff,
I'm glad we've got them.
Yeah, but Jeff, there'll be people who are saying how terrible this is. There'll be people who actually believe that Iran is a peaceful nation and that there's a peaceful outcome. And this is not coming to a crescendo that once, because let's face it, Israel is in a very dire situation and does face annihilation, surrounded by enemies, proxies. That's what it's surrounded. It does actually have, Israel does actually have a lot of friends in the Middle East as well. That's the thing which people forget. Let's face it, or how can I explain? There's been a soothing of tensions. Years ago, Israel and Iran were very, very close before the 1979 revolution. They were incredibly close. This is,
and that is what people don't like. They don't like that. They don't like the Abraham Accords because Trump did it, and they don't like that sort of peace. They want to destroy it. And that's the message I'm getting from these people.
Yeah, great comment here, Veronica Goddard. God's hand is over Israel. Amen to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Someone's pointed to some Chinese aircraft that landed in Iran yesterday, and they turned off their transponders. So I'm not sure what was going on there. But the Americans have flown a load of air-to-air refuelers from their east coast somewhere. The B-2 bombers that carry those massive bunker-busting bombs have been in Chagos, the Chagos archipelago on Diego Garcia, in that base that we're now handing over to Mauritius for some unknown reason. They've been there since March. That means they're prepared. They've been there since March. And they've also got they've got Nimitz on the way in, and another Nimitz class carrier, Carl Vinson, in the Red Sea. So things are ramping up there.
Good comment here. Iran is getting by Slim. Iran is getting a taste of freedom, and they love it. Yes, it's very strange how I'm seeing so much video footage coming from Iran of people cheering, celebrating what the strikes on Iran by Israel. I know this is cognitive dissonance to many people, self-educated people in the West who think that they understand the situation in the Middle East. I'm sorry, you really don't. You really don't. You don't know how. I was in a pub quite recently, and I bumped into a Jordanian chap, and we were having a bit of a chat, and he was, and a couple of girls came up to him and started talking to him about what was it? Oh, good grief! Talking, saying, "Oh, I'm sure you must be there supporting Palestine," and he was going, "What? What? What are you talking about?" And it's the same thing you see in Iranian football matches. You get a few people standing up and chanting, support for Hamas, and then the rest of the crowd turns on them. Please, people, understand the situation there. But have no doubt, there'll be a lot of tears, and potentially for myself, for the loss of family members in Iran that's taking place right now. But this has been allowed to fester for too long, for way too long. This regime, the Iranian people have been begging people to support them and help them get rid of this tyrannical regime. And the West has remained silent, done nothing. Women go through hell. The bravest people on this earth right now are the Iranian women. And they've been going through hell and begging for help. And what has the West done? Nothing. Where were the liberal lefties then? Where were you? Answer me that.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that does worry me slightly is internal reactions once Trump goes in. Because once he drops that first bunker buster, a lot of people will go, that's the end of the destruction of Israel. And they will be very angry. And they walk the streets of London. I'm wondering what's going to go on.
We're going to have
in America and here.
We're going to have attacks here. We will have attacks on mainland soil here from, sleeper cells from Iran, the Iranian regime, here in the UK, and from other places. That's going to happen. That's a foregone conclusion. I wonder if people will change their minds then when they actually see the real face of the IRGC, of that regime.
Yeah. Vinicius Bueno says the Brits sold land that wasn't theirs to sell, and today we're in this mess. Actually, not quite right. The League of Nations unanimously, I'll say that again, the League of Nations, the pre-runner to the United Nations, unanimously voted and supported the creation of Israel. They did it. They did. We were given the mandate to achieve it. We were under international instructions on international law, which everybody goes on about, to achieve it. Trouble is, the Second World War got in the way and messed things up a bit. And we actually left the Israelis to get on with it, really.
Yes.
But it was going to happen anyway. If there hadn't been a Second World War, it would have happened anyway. So, yeah, and it just surprises me that people. And did you know people talk about the Greater Israel? Was it at one stage? It must have been after the 6-Day War, when Israel was reacting to an economic attack that they were under. They just started the 6-Day War. They took the Sinai Peninsula off of Egypt, destroyed its air force, and what did it do at the end? Gave it back.
Yes, well, a lot of people don't understand that Gaza was given just not so long ago. That was given to the
2005
Palestinian people. Yes, it was given to them. And
yes,
and money
and
was
all they did was fire rockets.
Yes, and money was pumped into Gaza by the international community. More money than was given to Germany, the equivalent of at the end of World War II to rebuild. Yet you've had this terrible situation. All, as you said, Jeff, all they did was fire rockets and built an army to reclaim the rest of, well, Israel, effectively.
Yeah, yes, and it's quite amazing that Hamas then set about taking charge, had an election in 2007, if you can call it an election, and they haven't had one yet afterwards, not one since 2007. So once they were voted in, they stayed. And everybody's meant to be supporting Hamas, which has been tearing up water pipes that Israel gave them so they can turn them into rocket launchers to fire rockets into Israel. I'm sorry, no.
Well, here's the other side of it as well. Israel, before any attack takes place, sends out text messages and does leaflet drops around the area. That's been that's well documented, that is. So,
in fact, they did that today. Guess what they told the people around that nuclear reactor?
Yes.
Guess what they said?
Yeah.
Clear the area.
Yeah.
Whereas the Iranian missile that landed on a hospital overnight, no warnings.
Yes.
No. Anyone who's against the Israelis you're wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had enough of upsetting some people on here.
Jeff, before we started this video, we knew we were going to do it. We knew it was before we started, so we're going to pee some people off. But at the end of the day, you either speak truth or you don't. You either speak from your own knowledge and personal experience and research, or you can just sit here and say, Israel bad, Iran good, just to please people. Yes, let's all go and chant from the river to the sea. Yes, whatever. Sorry, guys, not having it. We're not going to pander to you. Not going to happen. We'd rather lose the channel.
Here we go. Iran produces, says Peter Walker, more engineers than the USA, and 60% are women. Is there a link to that particular fact? Is it an Iranian link?
Well, actually, you'd be surprised how many Iranian women are engineers. That is something that's been forced upon them. But it's not in this kind of situation that you think. There's many girls as well who want to be engineers and want to do well. There are Iranian female judges. It's such a strange country, because what you've got a regime that is controlling things incredibly and pushing these hideous, barbaric ideology upon the women and the people there. But there is such a pushback over the past couple of years that, yes, women have been coming forward and moving into different areas. So, no, I wouldn't be surprised at that whatsoever. And in case people didn't know as well, Iran has got the second largest amount of Jews, I believe, in the Middle East. It might be in the world. I know it's in the Middle East outside of Israel. So that's something that people don't know. And it's also got the largest growing church in the world. But this is the point, you see. This is because Iran is not what people think it is. It is not a country that is easily quantifiable and put into a box. No, you have an incredible nation there being ruled and governed over ultimately by barbarism. And the people, that's why the people are supporting, so many people are supporting the strikes on Iran. Don't get me wrong. If you lost your child and family tomorrow in a strike from Israel, you would not be cheering them. No. And that cannot be overstated. But this is the situation that's taking place. It's nuanced.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Flying Fishnet Zionist stooges.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what, Jeff. I'm wondering where this money's going to start coming in from, because we've told everybody.
Yeah.
I really want some of this money. So if you're listening now to Mr. Zionist, whoever you are, please can you put some money in our bank account? We'd very much appreciate it, because we're barely keeping this bloody thing going.
Oh dear.
And speaking of which, please like this video. Even you lot who absolutely hate what we're saying, please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel and click the all option so you know when we put up another video. It might be one against what you believe. Oh, you can come in, call us Zionist stooges all over again. Fantastic. And also, and if you really want to get extra content where you can hammer us and have a right go at us, become a member. You can only do it usually on a desktop or on a laptop. So yes, become a member of the channel. You've got to click. There's a join button on the desktop. It won't work on your phones probably if you've got iOS devices. So yes, come on and join me. You get extra content of Jeff and sometimes myself. Well, not quite yet, but you'll get more Jeff anyway. There you go.
Adam Hatch says, are there any nukes? Now, the funny old thing is that the whole point is to stop the Iranian regime getting its hands on nukes. And why do we think they're heading in that direction? Because the International Atomic Energy Authority was getting extremely worried about the amount of highly enriched uranium they were producing and the plutonium plant and all the rest of it. And there's only one direction that takes you in. That is nuclear weapon production. I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah, but Jeff, there's going to be people on here saying, but I remember the Iraq war. We were talking about weapons of mass destruction, etc. The difference is here, right? Okay, there wasn't any weapons of mass destruction then, correct? But the difference is here, you've got the Iranian regime saying, we are trying to build a bomb and we are going to nuke you. We're going to do it soon. They're saying it. If somebody's threatening you with potential nuclear annihilation, how should you respond? How should you respond?
Yeah, I know.
There we go. Come on. Let's go.
Anyway.
I've got some minced beef to eat.
Yep. Okay. Well, so on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.